Okay, trying to stay almost caught up with GAC. I'm only five fights behind. This is an intramural with my guildie Balwer. So we went easy on each other, just decided to go for max points without really cheesing. So no GLs on D. Let's talk about the trajectory of the Star Wars franchise. So again, like I said in my other video, if you haven't or are watching Mandalorian, the season finale, make sure you watch through the credits. There is a very Marvel-like teaser midway through the credits that you will not want to miss. You will go from 6 to midnight watching it. To that end, I was thinking about it, reflecting to myself, as I often do, about Star Wars, because I'm a fucking nerd, and you're all a bunch of fucking nerds, because you all play a Star Wars game, just like me. Anyway, so with Ahsoka and Mando and Rangers of the New Republic, 3 shows that are all happening concurrently, and then if you watch that little teaser, I'm not going to specify what or who it is about, but that will also be concurrent with the other 3 series, they being Star Wars, Lucasfilm, having been bought by Disney. It's not too much of a stretch, shouldn't be too surprising. They are doing something very similar to what the Marvel Cinematic Universe did. Lots of concurrent stories that all culminate in a grand spectacle, specifically Avengers Endgame, or Infinity War and Endgame, I guess. So I fully expect to see something along those lines within the next few years, after Filoni and Favreau and Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, are satisfied with the progress they've made in 3 or 4 separate but concurrent storylines, although I'm sure there'll be some overlap. I think there's going to be a massive culminating, probably movie, maybe series, but I think a movie might be best, or a couple of movies might be best, a la Infinity War and Endgame. My best guess would be that it culminates with Thrawn. I could be very wrong. Thrawn could come well before then, but that is what I am thinking. All 4 of those storylines will come together, because if you look back to one of the episodes in season 2 of Mando, again, not trying to spoil, but still trying to talk about stuff, there is an allusion by a certain someone, not a main character, who says something to the effect of, there is something going on out here in the Outer Rim, but we can't address it without notification. Not going to say who says it, to whom, or specifically what they are referencing. If you've been watching the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And presumably that which this person is alluding to, I believe, has to do with being so fucking cagey. I believe that has to do with what was referenced by Ahsoka Tano. I'm not spoiling anything that she's in the show, because everybody that is even remotely paying attention knows that Ahsoka Tano is in the show and she's getting her own show. The person whom Ahsoka is hunting for, I believe that is the allusion to which that other person mentions. I really just want everyone to see the show I would say within a couple of weeks, maybe a month. If people haven't seen the show, then I'm going to say you're shit out of luck, and we're just going to talk about specific stuff on here, because I can only be cagey and talking code for so long. So, yes, ultimately, I think that these 3 or 4 concurrent series will culminate in a grand spectacle, maybe a mini-series or 1 or 2 movies. This just popped into my head, but Taika Waititi's movie is scheduled for like 2024 or 2025. So it could very well be that the movie or movies to which I am alluding and hoping for could very well end up being Taika's movie or movies. And that would be awesome. No matter what you think is going to happen, it is pretty clear that Filoni, and to a lesser extent Favreau, are at the helm of Star Wars for the foreseeable future, much to all Star Wars fans' relief, because they are well and true fans of the franchise. J.J. Abrams is a great director. He's great at making movies. He's good at producing movies. He even had a writing credit, I believe, for the sequel trilogies. And yeah, I think he is a Star Wars fan. I don't know that his Star Wars fandom goes much beyond, bandwagoner fandom. I don't think he is a Star Wars fan even remotely close to the level that Dave Filoni and apparently Jon Favreau are. We know Filoni read at least some of the old expanded universe stuff. I mean, he re-canonized Thrawn, Ruch. He even re-canonized Dark Troopers, even before anybody was really thinking or talking about it. He re-canonized Dark Troopers in Star Wars Rebels. If you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, you should. It's not my favorite, but I would say the second half of Season 2 to the end of Season 4 are, for the most part, really, really good. Not Clone Wars level good, but still really, really good. If you haven't seen them, just go see it. You can get it on Amazon Prime, or you can just sign up for Disney Plus like a normal person, or pirate Disney Plus like many people do. But either way, you should definitely see, of course, Clone Wars, but also Rebels. I mean, Filoni was growing up when Star Wars kind of became resurgent, because there was a little lull. Those that went through it probably remember there was a lull in between Return of the Jedi being the early mid-'80s up until the early mid-'90s. I don't exactly remember or know what exactly was the cause of the resurgence, but a lot of expanded universe books came out in the early, mid, late 90s. The toys went crazy. I mean, they didn't make toys really in between Return of the Jedi and then the 90s. Kenner made a shit ton of toys. There's actually a campaign, like a throwback campaign, if you will, for Kenner. You can actually get Mandalorian toys that actually say Kenner on the packaging, which is quite interesting. All right, more to come.